Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how much we love to get into the nitty-gritty of singing here.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to do a deep dive on something that can honestly make or break your sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Tension.
Yeah.
We're talking about those sneaky little habits that can really hold you back. We found this great article called Three Signs You're Singing with Too Much Tension. And honestly, it's got me thinking about how often I probably do this myself, you know?
It's so common, and it's something that can really impact your singing in a lot of ways.
Right. Like before we even get into the science, just take a second and think about this.
Okay.
Why is tension the enemy of good singing? I mean, some of it's got to be good, right? Like when you're belting or something.
Well, you're right. Some tension is necessary, but it's more about controlled energy, not constriction.
Okay.
Like think of a power lifter.
Oh, okay.
They use tension strategically, but it's got to be balanced with flexibility and relaxation.
Right, right.
But when you get too much tension when you're singing, it basically puts the brakes on your vocal cords. You lose range, you get tired way faster, and it just makes singing feel like a chore instead of something fun.
Yeah, it's like trying to run a marathon in shoes that are like three sizes too small.
Exactly.
Painful.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
So this article, it jumps right into these like telltale signs that you might be singing with too much tension, like the sound of your voice, which seems pretty obvious, but
Oh yeah, your voice will definitely tell you if something's up.
how so?
Well, if it sounds strained or, like you're pushing too hard or even yelly,
Yelly.
that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Instead of that nice smooth sound you want, it's all forced and kind of thin. It's like
Yeah.
you're trying to squeeze this huge sound through a tiny little opening.
Yeah.
So next time you're practicing, really listen to yourself. If you're hearing that strained sound, dial it back a bit. Like imagine you're singing into this huge, wide open space.
Yeah.
Let your voice just like bloom, you know?
Ooh, I like that, blooming. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so what about this thumb under the chin test the article talks about?
Ah, yeah, that's a great way to check for tongue tension,
Yeah.
which is something so many singers struggle with without even realizing it.
Oh, wow.
So basically, you gently put your thumb under your chin and sing a few notes.
Okay.
And if you feel like the root of your tongue is really hard or stiff, that's tension.
I'm doing it right now, and oh my gosh, yeah, I could totally feel that.
See? It's amazing how much tension we hold there without even knowing it.
Wow.
And a lot of times, it's this muscle called the hyoglossus.
Okay.
It's at the base of your tongue. If you can learn to relax that, it can really free up your whole voice.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
So we've talked about the sound, we've talked about the tongue. What about like things you can actually see?
Oh, yeah, totally. Check yourself out in the mirror when you're singing.
Oh.
Look for any tension in your neck muscles,
Okay.
especially those ones that run along the sides of your neck, the sternocleidomastoid muscles.
Mhm.
If those are bulging out, you're probably gripping and squeezing your throat instead of letting your sound flow freely.
So it's not just about how it feels, it's what you can see too.
Exactly. And this is where posture comes in.
Ah,
Standing up straight and relaxed is key for free singing.
right.
When you slouch, you're basically compressing your breathing and making it way harder to sing without tension.
Yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of breathing, the article mentions taking those nice deep breaths before you sing.
Breathing is everything. Think of it as the foundation of your sound.
Okay.
If you're breathing shallowly or erratically, your body's going to tense up to try and compensate.
Right.
But when you take a nice deep breath before you sing, engaging your diaphragm, you're giving your voice the solid base to work from.
It's like you're using your whole body as an instrument, not just your throat.
Exactly. It's all connected. Your breath, your posture, your vocal muscles, they all got to work together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And when they do, that's when the magic really happens.
Okay, so we've covered why tension is a problem
Yeah.
and some of the signs to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the good stuff? What can people expect if they start working on this?
Well, imagine singing for longer without getting tired, hitting those high notes without straining, and having a richer, fuller sound.
Wow, sign me up.
And it's not just about the technical stuff. When you let go of tension, singing becomes so much more joyful. You're able to really express yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your voice becomes a true reflection of who you are.
Love that. So, big takeaway today. Tension is a real thing, but we can learn to recognize it and work with it.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
Start with one small change today. Maybe it's focusing on relaxing your tongue or taking a deeper breath before you start singing.
Okay.
Just notice how it feels and let that be your guide.
I love that. And for everyone listening, what resonated with you the most today? What's that one thing you're going to try out in your next practice session? Think about it and let it guide your journey toward a freer, more expressive voice.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.